Imagine a world where every leaf, every predator, every raindrop, every gust of wind, and even the smallest unseen microbe is woven into a single living network. A world where removing one thread can shift the fate of forests, oceans, and civilizations. Most of the time, we never notice the balance that holds everything together, but when it slips, the consequences echo across continents. What keeps life stable in a world that constantly changes? And how does nature maintain order inside what seems like endless chaos? Welcome to Mattermosaic, piecing together the universe, one discovery at a time. Today, we journey into one of the most fundamental yet invisible structures on Earth, the ecosystem, a vast network of interactions that allows life to sustain itself, adapt, and survive in a world shaped by unpredictable forces. This is the story of how nature maintains balance, and why understanding this hidden machinery is crucial for the future of our planet. The story begins long before humans walked the Earth. In the early days of life, the planet was a chaotic battlefield of volcanic eruptions, shifting oceans, and an atmosphere still learning to support the living world. Yet even in this harsh environment, life found ways to connect, cooperate, and stabilize itself. Simple microbial communities formed some of the very first ecosystems, where one organism's waste became another's resource. It was the earliest hint of a principle that would repeat itself everywhere on Earth. Nothing in nature exists alone. Every species is both a contributor and a beneficiary, part of a cycle that must stay in balance. As life diversified, ecosystems became more intricate. Plants captured sunlight and turned it into energy. Herbivores evolved to eat plants. Predators evolved to keep herbivores in check. Decomposers returned nutrients to the soil. Rivers carved through land, carrying minerals that shaped forests and wetlands. Climate influenced the movement of species. Species influenced the climate in return. Every ecosystem became a puzzle of countless interlocking pieces, each one subtly shaping the world around it. But ecosystems are not peaceful. They are dynamic, competitive, and constantly changing. What looks like harmony is actually a tension that never stops moving. In an African savanna, for example, the survival of grasslands depends not just on rain, but on grazers like zebras that trim vegetation, predators like lions that control the grazers, and even scavengers and insects that finish the last stages of nutrient recycling. Remove lions, and herbivores multiply. Too many herbivores means the grasslands thin out. With too little grass, soil erodes. With eroded soil, rivers shift, drought spreads faster, and the savanna begins to collapse into desert. Predators, who seem destructive at first glance, become the silent architects of stability. The same is seen in oceans. Tiny plankton feeds small fish feed larger fish. Larger fish keep middle predators from overrunning the food web. If industrial fishing removes too many large predators, the balance collapses. Certain species explode in number, consuming plankton faster than it can regenerate. Coral reefs weaken. The entire oceanic structure shifts. What once took millions of years to perfect can fall apart in less than a century. This chain of relationships extends to the smallest scales. In the soil beneath forests, billions of microorganisms break down dead leaves, recycle nitrogen and carbon, and form partnerships with plant roots. Without these microbes, the soil becomes sterile, forests decline, and animals disappear. Even the atmosphere depends on life. Forests regulate oxygen and carbon dioxide. Oceans store heat and carbon. Wetlands filter water and reduce floods. Ecosystems are the hidden engineers of Earth's climate system. But one of the most fascinating elements of ecosystem balance is the idea of feedback. Positive feedback amplifies changes. Negative feedback stabilizes them. When a forest grows dense, it creates shade that cools the ground and retains moisture, allowing more life to thrive. When grasslands burn, the ash returns nutrients to the soil, triggering a burst of new growth. Balance is not a static condition. It is a constant negotiation between forces that push and forces that pull, forces that grow and forces that prune. The Yellowstone wolf story is one of the clearest examples of this balance. In the mid-1900s, wolves were removed from Yellowstone National Park. Without predators, the elk population surged. Elk, overgrazed young trees and willows, choking rivers and drying out wetlands. Bird populations declined. Beaver colonies collapsed. The landscape began to unravel. But when wolves were reintroduced in the 1990s, the system slowly repaired itself. Elk changed their grazing patterns, vegetation recovered, rivers stabilized, beavers returned. Predators did not just hunt, they reorganized the entire ecosystem. A single species restored the balance of an entire landscape. Ecosystems are also shaped by disturbance. Fires, storms, floods, volcanic eruptions, and even disease outbreaks are part of the natural rhythm. These disruptions prevent stagnation and open the door to new growth. After a wildfire, a forest does not die. It resets. Certain seeds only open under intense heat. Nutrients flood the soil. Species return in waves. What looks like destruction is often renewal. Ecosystems evolve through cycles of building, breaking, and rebuilding. But today, ecosystems face pressures unlike anything in Earth's history. Human activity alters landscapes faster than ecosystems can adapt. Deforestation breaks apart wildlife corridors. Pollution disrupts water cycles. Climate change pushes temperature and rainfall patterns into new extremes. Species vanish before their roles are even understood. The balance that once maintained itself is now strained. Yet even here, ecosystems show resilience. When damaged ecosystems are allowed to recover, they often rebound with remarkable strength. Mangrove forests regrow when coastal development stops. Coral reefs can begin healing when fishing pressure is reduced. Grasslands regenerate when grazing is managed carefully. Rewilding projects reintroduce species that restore natural patterns. These recoveries show that nature is not fragile. It is responsive. It is dynamic. It knows how to balance itself when given the chance. To understand ecosystems is to understand that life is not a collection of isolated organisms. It is a network of relationships, each one influencing the others in ways often invisible but always profound. You do not need to travel to a rainforest to witness this. It is happening in a backyard garden, a local river, a patch of moss on a rock. Life sustains life endlessly through relationships formed over billions of years. In the end, ecosystems remind us of a simple truth. Nothing thrives alone. Every living thing is part of a story larger than itself, shaped by forces it cannot control, but can influence through its presence. Balance is not guaranteed, but when it exists, it becomes one of the most beautiful and essential patterns in nature. The balance of nature is not a miracle. It is a masterpiece woven from countless connections, still unfolding, still adapting, still teaching us what it means to live in a shared world. This is Mattermosaic, piecing together the universe, one discovery at a time. If this exploration sparked your curiosity, leave a like, share it with someone who loves science, and tell us what you want to explore next. Subscribe for more weekly journeys through the fabric of reality.